there's kids, ready for this? My friend, his wife, is a school teacher. And she works at a school that had to install a litter box in the girls' room because there is a girl who's a furry who identifies as an animal. And her mother badgered the school until they agreed to put a litter box in one of the stalls. Yeah. So this girl goes into the litter room or to the girls' room and urinates or whatever. I don't know if she poops in it. That's pretty gross. You know what I mean? Like, if you could teach your cat, by the way, here's the thing. If you could teach your cat to use the toilet, you would. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want a box of piss in your house. It's the worst. I've had cats my whole life. It's the worst thing about having cats. You got to clean that box of piss every day.
Yeah.
Like, it's the greatest thing about dogs. They go outside. Like, you're a fucking human.
The cat's got their humans trained.
Imagine how crazy that is. You're a fucking human being, and you prefer a litter box. You want to piss into a pile of sand rather than use a bathroom that you could flush the toilet, wipe yourself like a normal person. Like, you're so crazy with what you think an animal is that not only have you said this, but you've conned the school into putting this fucking litter box in a girl's room.
Yeah.
Which is bananas.
It is. It's absolutely insane.
Around as a meme because it kind of fit the conservative view of, liberals and their confusion about gender and sex and.
But the kitty litter boxes is a weird one.
It is weird. It's it's more like an urban legend.
I fed into that, and I should probably clarify that a little bit. I have a friend, and my friend's wife is a school teacher, and she told him that there was discussions in the school that a mother wanted to put a litter box in one of the bathrooms. And he told me this, and I talked about it on here, and then people were saying, that's not true, it's an internet rumor. So I contacted him again, and I said, tell me exactly what she said, and contact her and find out. She no longer works at that school. She works for another.
How convenient. This whole kitty litter box story, obviously, it's just, conspiracy theory thrown out there. Obviously, political thing to make the Democrats or anybody who represents them look bad, make them seem like they're like mentally ill maybe in a weird way, because or like, I don't know, cosplaying as a furry and taking a crap in the litter box seems kind of strange to do. When I was a kid, usually when you're a kid, you really don't go to the restroom a lot. A lot of kids don't really poop. You pee there, but a lot of kids wouldn't poop until they got home. And I don't think some kid will, poop there, pee there, one in the open, or do they have like a closet? It's just kind of like, the more you talk about it, the more like steps it has, and the more nuttier it seems, right? Because originally this came out as some sort of article saying that there was a litter box, but it was for it was like for security reasons, and it was for any kind of like maybe school shooting, and they'll have to utilize the litter buckets, and it just blew, it just got bigger and bigger. It snowballed, and now we have Joe Rogan speaking about this, and it's not it's just a dumb thing. It's just dumb, and you could always and then he blames it on his friend. He blames it on his friend and says, okay, his wife, who is this teacher, told him about it. A friend of a friend, basically, like a type of story, like, my friend told this other friend. So Joe kind of is able to say he's not responsible for it. Just maybe his friend was for, I don't know, maybe making it up. Let's keep watching it.
Another school. She contacted the other school. She didn't get a response. I don't think they actually did it. I think there was discussions about doing it because there was one particularly wacky mother, but it doesn't seem that there's any proof that they put a litter box in there. The reason why I was interested in it and willing to entertain it was there was about 10 years or so ago, we went to, there was a UFC in Pittsburgh. And when we went there, as we landed, we were driving from the airport to the hotel, we see all these people with mascot outfits on. We're like, what is going on? And we talked to this guy, and he said, there's a furry convention in town.
Oh, right.
And I said, wow, this is crazy. So they all decided to get together. So they were at bars and on the streets, and it was like a get-together. They used to do it in San Diego, but at the time, San Diego was a little bit more conservative, and they were having a hard time doing it, so they moved it to Pittsburgh. And this was the year they moved it to Pittsburgh. This is according to him. So we check into the hotel. The hotel...
Okay, so what does furries have to do with litter boxes, kids' litter boxes, right? Are these kids furries? Is he implying that? Is he trying to say that there's... He's saying these kids are furries, and that's why they're putting... I'm pretty sure he's going to say it's because these furries requested a litter box or something like that, right?
The guy who was working the front desk was saying how crazy it was. That these folks were asking for their food to be delivered in bowls on the ground so they could eat it like animals. And I'm like, that is crazy. And then he said they asked for a litter box in the lobby. Now, they didn't put a litter box into the lobby, but someone, according to this man, asked him for a litter box. I'm like, that is crazy. So I went and did a deep dive online. I went to forums where furries go because I was trying to find, like, is this a thing? Do they like to use litter boxes? Out of all of my searching, I could only find one poster, one guy who said he had used a litter box. So this one person who was saying that he thought it was kinky and he liked to use it, he, they, it, them, whatever, liked to use a litter box.
Yes.
So that was
Common
all
pronouns.
I could find. So is that something that people do, or is it something that people talk about doing because it's fun? I don't know. But one of the things that I found about these furries is, like, it's sexual in some sort of weird way. They like to get together and have sex with their furry outfits on, and they don't want people to know who they are or what they want to keep the outfits on.
So it's a cosplay kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like a cosplay kink thing that some people engage in. Like, how that got connected to gender, I do not understand, because it seems to be a completely different sort of kink. But what I think people have concern with is that it's nonsense, and that it's crazy. And if this nonsense starts getting into schools, because there are... Jamie, what was the thing that you were telling me? Someone was telling you about one kid thinks they're a wolf, and they...
I honestly don't know if I still need to. I think they're trolling. I think there's something that
Maybe,
happened
but
on
you know,
TikTok
in
it got out of hand.
in that film.
So basically, Jamie's like, hey, bro, I think this is made up. I think it's just a giant troll. And Jamie, please pull that shit up live. But he doesn't. I don't know, man. He just maybe doesn't want to make Joe seem, look bad.
What is a woman?
Oh, there was that one person that says
He's
they're
digging.
a wolf.
He's digging
you
for
can always
information.
find
you know?
somebody. Who's,
There is a report from
Can't find
ABC
anything.
though, where they went and talked to a bunch of younger kids and parents that were having like a meeting, and they're like, "Our kids like to dress up and talk this way, but like you should see how different they are when they do it."
Right.
They went from being very reserved to like outgoing and
Right, because it allows them to, when they pretend that they're a wolf, they can just be freer. So maybe they're like very shy, introverted kids, and this allows them like some form of escapism.
Yeah.
Like you said, like a cosplay type thing.
Yeah, but so what happens then is, so there's an element of truth to and this is true with conspiracy theories, always a little element of truth, and then it gets blown up into something else. And then if it gets politicized, that's just the sort of thing that...
But I mean, it's the thing, like with little kids, of course, they're going to be imaginative. They're going to try to, role play and just play around, right? And I don't like if there is one kid, because we've never really like you can't find it anywhere that's like any legitimate school is like, this angry mom that Joe was saying, she was mad and yelling at the school to give her kid a litter box. Seems very far-fetched, and you know, there will be kids out there in that class that will say something to their parents, or like, hey mom, like, because kids are just, they're loudmouths, right? They speak the truth. It's just like, if something were to happen like this, you'll see it instantly in the news, right? Like, unless the school is like secretly doing that, it's just wouldn't be convenient, man. Schools don't even like to waste money, man. School districts are so cheap. They will, you know, that, I mean, that based on my experience here in California, you know, in the school, they were cheap. We had to pay them, you know. We had to pay them for to even get some good food. Um, but you know, going back to the litter box thing, is just too dumb to even consider. It's becoming like a, you know, pandemic, and it's spreading, and all the kids want a litter box now, and they're all furries, or like to think they're wolves, or dogs, or cats, or whatever, right? It's just too dumb. To me, it's just dumb. Uh, if I get proven wrong, yeah, I won't, because it's not like a serious thing, man. It's not a serious thing. It's just Joe got trolled. A lot of people get trolled by this thing. You know, I think I've said enough about this. You know, it's just like, if there's a kid out there that does want a litter box, kid, you know, don't. Why is the parent gonna uh entertain that idea? It's disgusting, right? That's just going a little bit too far. Maybe your kid, take him to a therapist, and that's the end of that, right? Take him to a therapist if he starts pooping or peeing in the litter box, right? If he does it a lot, I mean, if it's like the first time, he's like, maybe I didn't make it to the restroom, so I had to pee there, or something like that, right? That's fine. But if it keeps happening, then uh, please seek some help, because that's not normal behavior. We will be talking about it more if it was, you know, but it's not. It's not something that happens all the time.
Classrooms. Claim about litter boxes in New York school is unfounded. And this is now spread, many people now talking about this. These litter boxes in the classroom. So, debunked, not true. But it turns out, I was wrong. I gotta admit it, I was wrong. Aaron Breed here replying to my tweet saying, David, I would like to point out that some districts have bought litter boxes and buckets for their students in case of a school shooting. But that's an issue for another day. So this is a story from 2019 from Insider here. It appears this one school did buy litter boxes, but not because some kid identifies as a cat, but because of how constant and common school shootings are. They figured they would prepare and have a place for kids to go in case there was a prolonged lockdown caused by an active shooter or bomb threat. Maybe an issue that Rogan should discuss, considering his unwavering support of guns. But anyways, last thing here before I get back to the video. Brock, another reply here saying, students record every second of every day. A fight breaks out and there are 15 angles with astute commentary. But there's conveniently 0 pictures of installed litter boxes. They don't even have the motivation to stage it. Great point, which goes again to... I think this is completely made up.
And it's showing, I'm sure this is my 4th year. This is new. And it's showing, unfortunately, a need in our society. Today, during professional development, which is usually meant to talk about systems and structures in your school and curriculum, we were given buckets. We were also given first aid kits, toilet paper. We were given kitty litter to put in the buckets. And there is a pop-up tent to pop up around this bucket. These buckets are to use as toilets because this is a need now. for kids that have been on lockdown because of a threat, need to use the bathroom when they're in for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. We were also given a Sharpie, and that is to write the time. If you had to tie a tourniquet on a kid, you'd write the time you did it on their body for paramedics to see how long it's been tied off. This isn't normal. Unfortunately, our society is at a place where it is, and we need to do something about it.
So all that was for the emergency of a school shooting. It makes it seem a lot more sadder of a story, than weird.